Assalamu alaikum and hello viewers. In this video, I'm going to present research strategy for early career researcher with specific focus on where to focus. This is an important topic for the early career researcher. Normally, these are not addressed properly for the early career researcher. Sometimes they don't know where to focus, what are the key elements, what are the important elements. As a result, during their career progression, they cannot perform well. So to make a better plan, to make better guidelines, I have prepared these slides for their better preparation so that they can progress in a better way. So these are career progression steps. So normally research starts from master's, PhD, and sometimes there are research assistant also. So this is where research starts. So if at this stage, they know what are the important elements, where they need to focus, I think this will help them tremendously for their better growth. As you can see, there are also postdoctoral research fellow, lecturer, assistant professor. Normally, position starts from here. But in my view, I think it is also important for PhD, master students, research assistant also to make a better plan. So as you progress for higher level from this lower level position, I mean from postdoctoral fellow, research fellow, lecturer, assistant professor, assistant lecturer to associate professor and professor level. So different steps you need to address many important elements. So this will be basically the my focus. So even in at the professor level, as you can see, there are A grade professor, there are B grade professor, there are C grade professor. Normally, public universities in Malaysia, it starts from grade C, then grade B, and then grade A. So grade C is the lowest level of professorship, and grade A is the highest level of professorship. Even globally, internationally, and in different universities, there are positions called distinguished research professor, distinguished position. So these are normally top 10% positions are given to exceptionally or outstanding performing professors. There are also the position called chair professor, royal professor. So these are normally at the very high level, some exceptional quality, exceptional performing researchers are given these titles. So if you know all these, then probably you can aim for better. This is very important slide. So based on my 25 years of experience as a student, researcher, academician, and also involved in different panel members, I work in different universities. I interact with many people around the world. So based on that, these are the 6 key elements. If you can focus in this area, in my view, you can make a better plan. This will help you, and this will certainly help for your better growth. However, among these 6 elements, as you can see, the first 2 elements has major weightage. So as a researcher, as a teacher, as an academician, major focus, major weightage, basically you need to provide here. So even in these 2 elements, actually the research has more weightage, heavy weightage than teaching. Normally only by focusing teaching, actually one cannot explore, one cannot be a prolific researcher, one cannot be at a higher level of position. But in my view, there should be balance of both research and teaching contribution with the more focus on research. So I'll be giving more content, more elements in the next subsequent slides. Of course, there should have contribution in terms of administrative contribution, sometimes as the head of the center, program coordinator, program directors, these are also contribution needed in your academic life, in your research life. Of course, one need to contribute to the society, societal contribution, so help some needy people, organize seminar, give free seminar, share your knowledge to the society so that others also benefited. So there are many other contribution in this area. So you need to contribute also. Of course, without having a good health, you cannot contribute, you cannot focus. So this is also important element. Sometimes researchers are not aware, they ignore their health. As a result, sometimes health is so much detrimental, so much in problems, actually you cannot focus, you cannot concentrate. So that's why I think from the early career, early stage, if you are careful at your health, I think this also will help you to maintain your productivity. Of course, learning never ends. So continuously we need to improve our learning. So this is one example I have taken from one of the university's website. These are promotion criteria and their weightage. As you can see, my focus is here, particularly research. As you can see, publication from assistant professor to professor level weightage is getting 30 to 40%. So in research, basically, as you can see, supervision is also a component of research. Research and consultancy, that is also research. So if one combine all these three elements, basically, it is about 70% for the position of a professor. So that is quite heavy element. So this is also my observation. Research has more weightage for your academic growth for the promotion purpose compared to other elements. Of course, teaching also has the elements. As you can see also when you are progressing from assistant professor to professor level, teaching elements are also going to reduce, as you can see, from 25% to 10%. These are basically the trend. So as you can see, research has heavy weightage. It has heavy importance for your academic progression and growth. So now I'll be talking more specifically about the research. So as you can see, I have highlighted, so its weightage is normally from 50 to 60%. Again, this varies from university to university, organization to organizations. It is not fixed. So in my view, it always will be good. It is advisable that you always look for performance criteria at your respective university where you work. Normally there are guidelines. So if you follow their guidelines, percentage, weightage, where to focus, I think that will help you. Normally in the research, one of the major focus is the papers, numbers, quality, quantity, citation, and so on. So as you can see, there are many elements that you need to focus in this research, which is related to the papers. So for the papers, basically, based on my experience, I also examine, I also evaluate the promotion all over the world. I'm invited to evaluate for the position of professor, associate professor. I'm also involved in panel members. So based on my experience, I can see in some universities, some of the organization actually looking for some of the papers you are as first author, leading author, even one or two paper in some universities specifically ask about the single authorship. This demonstrates that you have all the, you can publish independently, you have the leadership in leading the authorship, you have major contribution, as well as you also have contribution in the form of a collaborating author, corresponding author. So why? Because in research publication also, there are also unethical practice. Sometimes, you know, the authors are invited without genuine contribution. So that's why first author, leading author, single author, these are also important. But at the same time, I think that as long as there are good contribution, collaborating authors, corresponding author, those are also given the due credit. So in terms of publication, I think activities always should be balanced. So one should have papers in journal, conference, seminar. So paper also should be original and review. So as you can see, someone should not publish only conference paper or only seminar paper. So it should be balanced with journal content, journal papers, conference papers, seminar paper, original and review papers. So quality is always a prime factor. It is highly valued. It is highly important. For example, Q1 journal, your papers are highly cited, top-notch journal. So these basically reflect the quality. That one I'm going to present in the next slide. At the same time, numbers also important. In my view, quality, quantity with quality is very, very important. So if you can maintain, I think that is highly important. I mean, if you can maintain quantity with quality, that will talk for you. But at the same time, I think the number of papers, quantity is also important along with the quality. Sometimes in interviews, sometimes in the promotion criteria. So if you don't have enough number of papers, for example, to be a professor, you need 15 papers. So that's why quantity is also important. So to progress your academic and research career, I think you also need to make a very good plan so that your research area is in the area of niche area, top-notch area, global grand challenge areas, wow factor that is worldwide, outstanding, winnable. I mean, the area is very impactful, very strong, very novel, and so on. Also, there should have good impact factor, journal ranking. So these are the things in the next slides I'll be talking. So highly cited paper, highly cited researcher, hot papers, most download papers. These are basically strong quality. This reflects the quality of your work. One may not be a highly cited researcher, but some of his paper can be highly cited. Some of his 1 or 2 papers may be sometimes listed as a hot paper, that is top 0.1% highly cited. That is called sorry, hot paper. So if you strategically if you work in the area of niche area with the proper strategy, with by doing proper homework, basically this will help you to address this factor. Of course, citation is very important all over the world. As you grow higher level, citation will carry heavy weightage. These are also will be looking for your promotion, to retain your job and career progression. See, I have highlighted here. So as you progress from the position of lecturer to higher level, particularly if you are moving to a position of associate professor, actually leadership capability will be needed. So leadership in project. So you are leading a project, you are leading supervision, you are leading author, you are leader in your research area. These are some of the ways to address this leadership capability. So I'm giving you some insights here. Time is limited. So I also suggest you to do some of your homework so that you can make a better plan. So this is very important for your academic growth, some critical analysis. Normally these are not done, these are ignored, and some are not aware and some are not also shared. So this is very high level of critical analysis. So as you can see here, I have shown you some of the analysis using Web of Science analysis. So you see, this is one of the journal, Progress in Energy and Combustion Science with impact factor 29.39. This is a top-notch journal. So if we analyze this journal using Web of Science in terms of ranking, as you can see, there are 60 journals in this thermodynamics related area, and this journal is ranked 1. So sometimes maybe it is quite impossible or it is very difficult to publish in Science and Nature, but we are expert in certain areas. For example, I'm working in the area of thermodynamics, energy heat transfer. So if we can publish in our area that where we are expert and this is rank 1, I think we should be proud of that. So this is what reflects here. So someone has published, for example, in this journal, and it is in the thermodynamics area, it is ranked 1 and it is also P1 journal. So in the energy and fuels, there are 103 journals and this journal is ranked 3. So again, this is also highly ranked, okay? In the chemical engineering, it is ranked 2. In the area of mechanical engineering, it is ranked 1 among 129 journals. So this is using Web of Science, basically, you can do analyze. And these are the things probably you can highlight during your promotion, when you are giving, when you are going for PhD Viva, if you have such contribution, such achievement, I think you need to highlight. Sometimes these are not known, these are not analyzed. So as a result, probably you don't know how to highlight. So once you know how to analyze using your Web of Science, then basically with this evidence, if you highlight, I'm sure that committee panel member will be impressed. So similarly, there are another journals, impact factor 7 point something, as you can see, it's also in the area of thermodynamics rank 3. So again, it is in very good top rank area. Even the impact factor is not that very, very high. Okay. So journal also, as you can see, you need to have journals combination of Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. Of course, more values are given on Q1 and Q2. And this also reflects that if you can publish in journals Q1 and Q2, actually, there are possibilities that paper will be cited more. So this basically, all this reflect the quality of your papers, publications, citations, and so on. At the same time, I think as a researcher, scientist, we also need to have some dream, some aim to publish in top-notch journal. As you can see, these are some of the top-notch journals with a very high impact factor. Okay, so these are not easy thing, but as you progress, I think it would be good if you can focus in this area of top-notch journal. So these are other part of research, innovation, network, developing network, collaboration, innovation, particularly patent, prototype, and slowly progressing towards technology readiness level. So as you grow, I think the collaboration is also important, network, teamwork, these are also highly important to maintain your productivity, to maintain your sustainability. Without collaboration, without network, actually one cannot grow properly. So these are also important for funding, for maintaining the productivity. So sometimes working with other universities, other organizations, and so on. Another important element is the postgraduate supervision. So here also one can play the leading role, can be the main principal supervisors. This is also important element. Of course, for higher level of position, funding is very, very important. Bigger amount fundings, international fundings are given more weightage than small funding, internal funding. So as I mentioned, patent, prototype, technology readiness, these are also important, and you need to have your proper plan and focus. Okay, so your expertise also need to be shared with scientific community as a keynote speech, invited speakers, and so on. So these are definition of TRL 1 to 9. So along with papers publication, I think this product development, commercialization, particularly technology readiness level, you make a good plan. So from your fundamental aspect to then you move to the prototype and a higher level of technology readiness level. So this, I suggest you study a little bit more, try to understand, and so that also you can make a better plan. So other research contribution, I think these are also important. Sometimes researchers are also involved to build an impressive lab. For example, in our case at Sanu University, we built an impressive lab. So it's not only me, my team members also involved. So these are also given the due credits because it is an important aspect. A lot of time, a lot of brainstormings are needed. So lab is a very important aspect to produce good quality research. So when times are spent, design, and so on. So this is also important aspect that should be considered and also given the due credit. So as a researcher, sometimes we do the industrial project, consultancy, contract research. I think these are the important thing also. If there are opportunities possible, at least we should have industrial consultancy, industrial activities as well. Seminar, workshop. So we need to share our experiences to the scientific community, okay? So as I'm doing here, and most importantly, as you know, the communicating science is not an easy task. Sometimes we are not native English speakers. Sometimes you also don't know how to talk, how to present, how to communicate. So that's why I think this is also very important, improving the communication skill, particularly language skill, writing, reading, speaking, public speaking. So all these things are also very important. We need to communicate by email. So what should be the language, how to communicate, how to convince other people. So we need to go through interview. I think this communication skill is very, very important. Publication ethics, so we need to know what is right, what is wrong, what is acceptable behavior, what's our unacceptable behavior, because sometimes these are very detrimental, very dangerous. If found in someone's work that there are allegations, so paper might be retracted, and as a result, someone may lose his or her job. So there will be severe consequences. So these are the things also need to be taken care. So thank you very much listening my speech. Hope this will be useful for your better growth.